Fragile Dreams, Farewell Ruins of the Moon is one of those rare gems in the JRPG world that, despite its lack of mainstream recognition, has garnered a dedicated following for its hauntingly beautiful atmosphere, deeply emotional storytelling, and unique gameplay mechanics. Released in 2009 for the Nintendo Wii by Namco Bandai, it remains one of the most poignant and unforgettable experiences within the genre. This video will delve into the elements that make Fragile Dreams one of the best JRPGs you've likely never heard of, exploring its narrative, atmosphere, music and gameplay, and also examining how the ending credits song serves as the perfect conclusion or icing on the cake to this unforgettable journey. At the heart of Fragile Dreams is its narrative, a melancholic tale set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity is all but vanished. The story, such as it is, follows a young boy named Seto, who after the death of his caretaker embarks on a journey to find any remaining humans. The game's premise is simple, but it is the execution of this premise that makes the narrative so infinitely powerful. Seto's journey is one of solitude and discovery, whereas he traverses the desolate landscapes, he encounters a few survivors and learns about the world's tragic past. The game's story is told through a combination of in-game events, item descriptions, and scattered memories of people long gone, which Seto finds throughout his journey, with these memories often in the form of holograms or voice recordings, revealing the thoughts and emotions of those who once lived in the world, giving players a deep sense of loss and loneliness. The narrative unfolds at a deliberate pace, allowing players to fully immerse themselves in the world and its history. Each memory fragment offers a glimpse into the lives of the people who once inhabited the world, and these glimpses are often filled with a profound sense of melancholy. The game doesn't shy away from exploring themes of isolation, grief, and the human desire for connection, and by doing so, it makes it a deeply emotional experience that resonates on a personal level. Seto's character development is another key aspect of this narrative power, whereas at the start of the game, Seto is a lonely, naive boy, but as he encounters other characters and uncovers the truth of the world, he grows and matures. His interactions with characters like Ren, Crow, and the silver-haired girl reveal different facets of his personality and highlights the game's themes of hope and despair, connection and loneliness. The atmosphere in Fragile Dreams is one of its most standout features. The game is set in a world that is both beautiful yet eerie, with environments ranging from abandoned theme parks and train stations to desolate cityscapes. Each location is meticulously designed to evoke a sense of loneliness and desolation. The world of Fragile Dreams is a character in and of itself, with the developers having crafted environments that feel both familiar and alien, with remnants of the human civilization juxtaposed against the enroaching decay of nature. The haunting beauty of these environments draws players in, making them feel as though they are truly exploring a world that has been forgotten by time. The Wii's hardware limitations actually work in the game's favour, with the slightly muted colour palette and simple textures adding to the sense of a world that has been forgotten and left to decay. The game's use of darkness is particularly effective, with Seto often relying on a flashlight to navigate through the game's many shadowy environments. This creates a sense of vulnerability and tension, as players are never quite sure what might be lurking within the shadows. The sound design further enhances this atmosphere, with ambient noises, creaking structures, and distant echoes adding to the sense of isolation. The game's environments are often eerily quiet, with only the sound of Seto's footsteps and the occasional rustle of wind breaking the silence, with this quietness amplifying the tension, making each encounter with an enemy or another character feel significant and deeply impactful. Fragile Dreams features a hauntingly beautiful soundtrack which perfectly complements the game's tone and overall atmosphere. The music is a mix of soft piano melodies, ambient soundscapes, and somber orchestral pieces, all of which serve to heighten the emotional impact of the story. The soundtrack is not just about background noise, it itself plays a crucial role in setting the mood and conveying the emotions of the characters and the world itself. Tracks like Tsuki no Shizuku and Kizuna are particularly memorable, lingering in the minds of players long after they've finished the game. The music in Fragile Dreams is a testament to how powerful and integral a well-composed score can be in enhancing a game's narrative and overall atmosphere, with the use of music in Fragile Dreams also being notable for its restraint. The soundtrack often fades into the background, allowing the ambient sounds of the world to take center stage. This subtle approach makes the moments when the music does swell all the more impactful, as it underscores the key narrative beats and emotional revelations. The music becomes an integral part of the storytelling, guiding players through Seto's journey and helping them connect with the characters and the world on a deeper level. While Fragile Dreams is often classified as a JRPG, its gameplay is a blend of several genres including adventure, survival horror, and puzzle solving. The game's mechanics are designed to immerse players in Seto's journey, making them feel as if they are truly exploring a world that has been abandoned and long since forgotten. One of the most unique aspects of the gameplay is the use of the Wii Remote as a flashlight and a pointing device. Players use the remote to explore dark environments, solve puzzles, and interact with objects. The flashlight mechanic is particularly effective in creating a sense of tension and immersion, whereas players must carefully search each area for items and clues, while keeping an eye out for potential dangers. The Wii Remote speaker is also utilized in an innovative way, with characters' voices and certain sound effects coming through the speaker, adding an extra layer of immersion. This feature is used to great effect during moments of tension or when Seto is communicating with other characters, making the player feel even more connected to this desolate, beautiful world. Combat in Fragile Dreams is relatively simple, with Seto using a variety of improvised weapons to defend himself against hostile spirits. The combat is intentionally clunky and limited, reflecting Seto's inexperience and vulnerability. This design choice reinforces the game's themes of loneliness and survival, as players must carefully manage their resources and avoid unnecessary confrontations. The game's puzzles are another key aspect of the gameplay, with these puzzles often requiring players to use the Wii Remote to interact with objects in the environment, whether it's rotating a mechanism, arranging items, or examining clues. The puzzles are generally well designed and add an element of challenge to the overall exploration, encouraging players to think creatively and pay attention to their surroundings. Despite the loneliness that pervades the game, Fragile Dreams features a small but memorable cast of characters, each of whom plays a crucial role in Seto's journey. These characters are often as lonely and lost as Seto, and their interactions with him add depth and emotion to the story. From the enigmatic silver-haired girl to the quirky personal frame, or PF, the relationships Seto forms with these characters are central to the narrative, highlighting the game's themes of connection and human resilience in the face of overwhelming loneliness. The silver-haired girl in particular represents both hope and mystery for Seto. Her elusive presence drives much of the game's plot, and her interactions with Seto are filled with a mix of warmth and sadness. She embodies the duality of the world in Fragile Dreams, a world that is both beautiful yet broken, filled with moments of connection yet overshadowed by the omnipresence of loss. Ren, a dog Seto befriends early on in the game, is another character who leaves a lasting impact on players and Seto himself. Ren provides companionship and comfort to Seto in an otherwise desolate world, highlighting the importance of companionship in a world devoid of human life. The bond between Seto and Ren is a poignant reminder of the connections that sustain us, even in the most dire of circumstances. Fragile Dreams is a game that excels in subtle storytelling. Much of the narrative is conveyed through environmental storytelling, with players piecing together the story of the world and its inhabitants through exploration and discovery. The game does not rely on heavy-handed exposition. Instead, it allows players to uncover the story at their own pace, which makes the experience all the more personal and impactful. The subtlety extends to the game's themes and messages, with Fragile Dreams exploring complex emotions and ideas without ever explicitly stating them. This approach makes the game feel more mature and thoughtful, and it is one of the reasons why it has resonated so deeply with me and others who have played it. The environmental storytelling, in particular, is very effective in conveying the history and tragedy of this beautiful world. Players might come across an abandoned classroom, a dilapidated hospital, or a ruined amusement park, each location telling its own story through the objects left behind, the state of disrepair, and the remnants of the people who once lived there. These environments evoke a sense of loss and melancholy as players imagine the lives that were once lived in these places. The game's use of silence is another example of subtle storytelling, with many scenes being devoid of dialogue or music, allowing the weight of the environment and the emotions of the characters to speak for themselves. These quiet moments are often the most powerful, as they give players the space to reflect on the story and the journey they've undertaken with Seto. As Seto's journey nears its conclusion, Fragile Dreams delivers an emotional climax that ties together the game's themes of loneliness, connection, and the search for meaning. The final revelation about the true nature of the world and the fate of humanity is both heartbreaking and profound, leaving a lasting impact on anyone who has played this beautiful gem. Without spoiling too much, the ending of Fragile Dreams is one that lingers long after the credits have rolled. It is a bittersweet conclusion that leaves players with a mix of emotions: sorrow for the world that has been lost, but also hope for the future that Seto yet may find. The final moments of the game are a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of hope even in the darkest of times. The emotional weight of the ending is amplified by the game's deliberate pacing and the deep connection players have formed with Seto over the course of the game. By the time the final revelation is made, players are fully invested in Seto's journey, making the conclusion all the more impactful. As the story of Fragile Dreams comes to a close, the final piece that truly cements this game as an unforgettable experience is its ending credits song. This piece of music serves as the perfect conclusion to Seto's journey, encapsulating the emotions of the story and leaving players with a lasting impression. The song Hikari, performed by the beautifully talented Ao Teshima, is a hauntingly beautiful ballad that perfectly captures the bittersweet tone of the game's ending. Its gentle melody and poignant lyrics reflect the themes of hope and sorrow that permeate the game, offering a sense of closure while also leaving room for reflection. The song's soft vocals and minimalistic arrangement create an atmosphere of introspection, allowing players to truly absorb the full weight of the story they have just bear witness to. For many players, including myself, the ending credits song is the moment when the full emotional impact of Fragile Dreams truly hits. As the song plays over the final images and shots of Seto, it serves as a poignant reminder of the journey that Seto has undertaken and the memories that players have made along the way. The song is not just a musical piece, it is the emotional climax of the game, the final note that brings the entire experience together, where in my opinion, the ending credits song is the icing on the cake, the final touch that elevates Fragile Dreams from a great JRPG to an unforgettable one. It is a perfect example of how music can enhance and deepen the emotional impact of a story, leaving players with a sense of fulfillment and a lingering connection to the game long after they have put down the controller. Fragile Dreams: Farewell Ruins of the Moon is a game that deserves to be experienced by anyone who appreciates emotional storytelling, atmospheric world building, and unique, although quite dated, gameplay mechanics. It is a game that, despite its flaws, leaves a lasting impression on those who play it, thanks to its hauntingly beautiful narrative, evocative music, and heavily immersive atmosphere. The game's ability to convey complex emotions and ideas through subtle storytelling, combined with its distinctive visual and auditory design, makes it a standout title within the world of JRPGs. It is a game that resonates on a personal level, inviting players to explore not just a world, but the depths of their own emotions and thoughts. The aforementioned ending credit song Hikari serves as the perfect conclusion to this journey, encapsulating the emotional weight of the game and leaving players with a sense of closure. It is the final touch that makes Fragile Dreams an unforgettable experience, one that lingers in the minds and hearts of players long after they have completed the game. In a world filled with big budget titles and flashy graphics, Fragile Dreams stands out as a reminder of the power of storytelling and atmosphere in gaming, regardless of how flashy and impressive it may look. It is a testament to the fact that the game doesn't need to be a blockbuster to be impactful. Sometimes, all it takes is a story, a world, and a song to create something truly unforgettable.